Okay, this video is going to be all about exporting your data. So when we go up to our ribbon here, if you go to external data, earlier in the course we learned how to import. Now we're going to learn how to export. And specifically we're going to look at exporting to Excel, exporting to a text file, and exporting to a PDF. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is export a file to a text file, or a comma separated values file. And if you recall, we imported using that earlier in the course, so now we're just going to turn around and export. So we're going to use our query actually. We're going to use the employees by city query. So we're going to select on that, and then we're going to go click on text file. We're going to choose a location, and that's just fine for me in my documents. You can browse to your computer to find a specific spot if you have a place in mind. And then you have to specify your options. Now if we export the data with formatting and layout, it's not going to give us the CSV option. It's going to try and save it in columns, and so we don't want to do that. So we're going to leave that unchecked, and we're going to click OK. And then we do want it to be delimited, and we're going to use characters such as comma or tab to separate each field, and in this case we're going to use commas. And you'll notice it's all set up to preview here, so it has the text in quotes, then a comma to separate each field, and then more text in quotes, comma to separate the next field, and so on and so forth all the way through. And you'll notice if we click fixed width, then what it does is it's basically spacing them apart. And you can see as you scroll to the right here that it does that all across. But we want delimited, so we can do a comma separated values file. We're going to click next, and it's pre-selected commas, so we want to leave it on there. You can include the field names by clicking here as a first row. We'll just leave that blank. And then the text qualifier is the quotes. But if you want to, you could change it to either of these other options, but we'll leave it as quotes. Then click next, and we already have the file location in there, so we'll just leave that, and we'll click finish. We don't need to save our export steps, so we'll close it. And then I'll go to my computer. Then we can open that up. And there we are with a comma separated values file in our notepad document saved to our computer. And you could then use this to import it into Excel, or save it and send it to someone, or even to bring back into Access if you wanted. Okay? So that's the comma separated values for a text file. Now let's say that we wanted to send a report to our boss. Let's go ahead and send our Employees Northwest Region report to our boss as a PDF so that he can print it or send it on to his boss or whatever. So we're going to go up to the export and PDF. And it's just going to ask us for a file name and save as PDF. I'm going to put this in documents as well. And of course with PDFs you have the option to adjust the size. You can, if you're publishing it or printing it, you want the full size. If you're just sending it online, like sharing it in an email, you can use a smaller size. So we'll stick with that default, and we'll click publish and close. Now we can go open that one up. It's going to open up in Chrome. And there is our PDF. And of course you could easily attach this to an email or however you wanted to send it along. Okay. And finally, let's go send one of our tables, and we'll export this to Excel. So we'll go ahead and click on Excel, and we've got a file destination for it. It asks you what kind of file format. We're going to go with XLSX for Excel, but you can also choose older versions of Excel if you need to. And then we'll save the formatting with it, and we'll go ahead and open it, and that'll open up Excel and bring it right up. Click on that, and we'll click OK. Then we'll click close, and we'll take a look at our Excel file. And there it is. You can see it carried over all of our headings and all of our data into an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so those are 3 ways you can export data to Excel, to a text file, a comma separated values file, and to a PDF.